All right, Browns fans, let me take you behind the curtain for a second. Because what if I told you that the biggest change in the Cleveland Browns organization this offseason isn't even happening on the field? Nope, it's not a flashy trade or a quarterback controversy. It's something quieter, something happening behind the scenes in Berea. And honestly, it could end up being the most important decision Andrew Berry makes all year. Right now, the Browns are in the middle of a full-blown overhaul of their health and performance department. And once I really started digging into the details of what's going on, I'm telling you, it hit me. This might be the most critical move this franchise has made, heading into 2025. But before I go any further, let me ask, how long have you been riding with the Browns? If you've been a fan for 20 years or more, smash that like button right now. And if you truly believe this is the year we break through and make it to the Super Bowl, let me know in the comments. Go Browns! I'm all in. My heart is yours. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now let's rewind to 2024 real quick. That wasn't just a rough season. It was a nightmare physically. Injuries just tore us apart. Deshaun Watson goes down with that Achilles tear. Nick Chubb suffers a fractured foot. Dawan Jones breaks his leg. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah ends up with a neck injury. In total, we lost 248 games to injury. That's not bad luck. That's a system failure. And Andrew Berry? He saw that. After that brutal 3-14 season, he said it straight. This team had to look inward. Not just at schemes or players, but at the way we were keeping these guys healthy in the first place. Fast forward to now, and Berry's delivering on that promise. This past week, the Browns launched one of the boldest performance department restructures we've seen in the NFL in years. Longtime staff members let go, new blood brought in, promotions from within, and every single move intentional. We're not talking about a little cleanup, this is a reinvention. Take Joe Sheehan. He was the Senior VP of Player Health and Development. He's gone after 16 years. Sean Hulls, who'd been Director of Performance since 2020, also out. Katie Messick, Director of Performance Nutrition since 2016, gone. That's decades of experience, cleared out. So who's stepping in? We've got Ryan Curtis, now leading as the Director of Health and Performance Innovation. Keenan Robinson is managing recovery services. Matt Hobbs and Stephen Best are on board as new performance therapists. Grace Kennedy joins as Assistant of Performance Nutrition, and Jeremy Portillo steps in as a Performance Science Fellow. That's not just hiring a few folks. That's building an entire interdisciplinary machine. Recovery, nutrition, science, innovation, each with its own dedicated leader. But let me spotlight one guy in particular, Pat Rock. Now, I know you might not know the name yet, but you're going to. Trust me, this guy could end up being the linchpin of the entire system. Pat started as a summer intern back in 2014, and now he's been named head athletic trainer. But he's not just some tape and ice pack guy. He's a certified strength and conditioning specialist who understands both the science and the soul of that locker room. He now leads a team of athletic trainers and physical therapists working hand in hand with physicians and outside medical experts. This is structure. This is culture. This is strategy. Pat Rock holds a biology degree from Drew University, played baseball there too, and has a master's in athletic training from Seton Hall. This man is the full package, athlete, academic, and now leader of our most important unit, injury prevention. And he's not the only internal promotion that's raising eyebrows. Kelsey Feehey has stepped into the Director of Performance Nutrition role, while Gordon Williams is now coordinating health and performance operations. These people aren't just support staff. They're holding the keys to how our team trains, eats, recovers, and ultimately performs on Sundays. Look, this is Andrew Berry going all in on infrastructure. You don't gut a third of your performance department unless you're convinced the system is broken. And in Berry's own words, this is about maximizing player performance and prioritizing player availability and safety. That's not just PR. That's an admission. They weren't doing enough, and they're done standing still. So now the big question becomes, how does this ripple through the roster? What if this rebuild keeps Deshaun Watson healthy all season long? What if Nick Chubb not only returns but thrives because of a revamped recovery plan? What if guys like Dowan Jones and Jock finally get a full season to show us who they really are? Before I break down how all this could influence personnel, the draft, and yes, even our quarterback situation, I want to hear what you think. Is this overhaul enough to change the entire trajectory of the Browns' 2025 campaign? Because let's be real, no draft pick, no free agent signing, no coaching tweak is going to matter if our best players are stuck on the sidelines. That's why this offseason's quiet revolution might just be the most important storyline no one's talking about. We're entering the era of precision performance in Cleveland, and the face of it isn't a quarterback or a receiver. It's the system that supports them. Let's not forget what these injuries did to us. Deshaun's Achilles tear derailed more than just his season. It broke our rhythm. Nick Chubb's broken foot took out one of the league's most consistent weapons. Add Alex Wright's torn triceps, Jock's neck injury, Dawan's leg. These aren't just injuries. They're morale crushers. They kill momentum. They kill identity. But now the Browns are betting everything on one idea: smarter systems, better people, modern methods. That's how you avoid another 3-14 disaster. That's how you chase a playoff run. So what does modernizing actually look like? With Ryan Curtis leading the way, it means using data, real-time analytics, custom metrics, tailored health, protocols. With Hobbs and Best, it's about prehabilitation, getting ahead of injuries before they happen. With Keenan Robinson, recovery becomes central, not secondary. And with Kelsey Feehey overseeing nutrition, food becomes a science, not just a side note. Grace Kennedy is backing her up. Jeremy Portillo is bringing cutting-edge sports science, research into the building. That's what it means to innovate. And I want to go back to Pat Rock one more time. The guy started from the very bottom. He's walked every hallway, been through every injury setback. He knows what's been wrong, and now he has the chance to fix it. That's rare. That's powerful. So, what does all this mean as we look ahead? Well, here's how I see it. When the Browns approach the 2025 NFL Draft, we're not walking in desperate anymore. With our roster getting healthier and our performance science finally catching up, with the times, we don't have to reach for depth guys like we used to. If these investments in recovery actually deliver, then Andrew Berry and the front office can finally start focusing on adding game changers instead of plugging injury holes. And don't sleep on what that means for free agency either. Word gets around fast. Players talk. When a franchise is putting real money into keeping athletes healthy, that attracts talent. Big time. This also gives us something incredibly valuable: time. Time to figure out our quarterback situation. Right now, the name everyone's throwing around is Shedeur Sanders, especially since we're holding that number 2 overall pick. The Russell Wilson noise has kind of died out, and the Kenny Pickett situation, still murky at best. So without a proven veteran QB locked in, player development becomes even more important. And let's be real, you can't develop guys if you can't keep them on the field. Honestly, nobody knows exactly what's coming next. But what I do know is this: the Browns just made a statement, a real one. the 2025 season isn't just about winning games. It's about transforming how this franchise operates from the inside out. The front office has stopped tolerating the old, broken system. The message is loud and clear. Cleveland is done being broken. This is about rebuilding with purpose. And now I gotta hear from y'all. Smash that like button if you think this performance overhaul could finally break the Browns' injury curse once and for all. Subscribe if you want more deep dive content like this, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this the smartest move we've made this offseason, or is it just another flashy distraction from the bigger issues? Let me know, Dog Pound. You are the most die-hard fan base in the league, bar none. I hope you're doing well out there, because we've got another juicy update to break down. This time, it's trade buzz that's heating up, and it's centered on a potential wide receiver target, John Mechie III from the Houston Texans. Yeah, you heard that right. Front office rumors are swirling, and once again it looks like Andrew Berry might be cooking something special. Could this be a game-changing move for our offense? Let's talk about it. I'll hit you with some stats, some context, and of course, that classic dog pound energy we all love. All right, this rumor is picking up steam, and the source is legit. Dogs by Nature is floating Mechie as a possible target. It's not official yet, just speculation. But you know how this works. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Now, let's get to know this guy. Who is John Mechie, and why would he even be on Berry's radar? Well, he was a second-round pick in 2022 by the Texans and came out of Alabama. That's a big deal. He lined up next to guys like Devonta Smith and Jalen Waddle, so he knows what it's like to play in a high-octane system. He's 23, stands at 5'11", and he's known for his speed and ability to create separation in his routes. But here's the thing. His NFL career hasn't really started yet. He missed all of 2022 after being diagnosed with leukemia. Stay strong, Mechie. Then, in 2024, he played in 12 games, but only pulled in 20 catches for 2 to 8 yards and 1 touchdown. Not exactly what you'd call a breakout year. So I've got to ask, could Mechie be the spark we need? Or is this just another name swirling around the rumor mill? Because let's be honest, our offense in 2024 was straight up a roller coaster. There were moments where it felt like Kevin Stefanski finally figured it out. And then came that brutal stretch to end the season. We finished 3-14. Pain. Our offensive line, once one of the best in the league, had serious issues. And the passing game felt more like a paper airplane than a fighter jet. Jerry Jeudy, who we got from the Broncos, finally hit 1,000 yards. Props to him. Cedric Tillman flashed potential, but he missed the final 6 games with a concussion. And our depth at receiver, man, it's thinner than my uncle's hairline at 50. That's why the Mechie rumor actually makes some sense. We need more weapons. We need explosiveness. And if Mechie can bring that quickness and versatility, maybe he's the guy who opens things up for Jeudy and Tillman. Or even compliments Diontae Johnson, who we picked up from the Steelers. Think about it. Stefanski loves creative play designs and mismatches. Mechie could fit in well with that approach. But there's a catch. He still hasn't proven he can be consistent in the NFL. So, is he worth the gamble? Let's look at what Berry's been doing. Say what you want, but our GM is a trade wizard. He got Jeudy for a 5th and 6th. That's a steal. He traded for Kenny Pickett. He even brought in Joe Flacco midseason, and that helped stabilize things a bit. The guy is bold. He's always thinking 2 steps ahead, like a grandmaster in chess. But not every move has worked. Diontae Johnson didn't really make the impact we hoped for. So if the Mechie talk is real, it shows Berry is still hunting for value without blowing up our cap, which is already about $30 million over, according to Yahoo Sports. If Houston is ready to move on from Mechie, He probably wouldn't cost more than a fourth or fifth rounder. That's not bad considering we've got 10 picks in the 2025 draft. Now let me ask y'all, do you still believe in Stefanski and Barry to lead us out of this mess? Or are you getting tired of the ups and downs? If Mechie really lands in Cleveland, what kind of impact are we talking about? Stefanski's system depends on timing, separation, and giving playmakers space to work. Mechie's speed and route running could be just what we need to bring some life to the offense. Would you roll the dice on him, or should we aim for a bigger splash? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment, hit that like button if you think this could be a smart move. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and share this video with every Browns fan you know. Let's not forget, when Nick Chubb is healthy, this offense can be dominant. But in 2024, our passing attack was way too inconsistent. Judy's got the WR1 spot locked down, Tillman's got potential, and Mechie could slide in as a reliable WR3. Kind of like a Deebo Samuel light. That's the comp some folks are throwing around. Imagine Mechie taking a 5-yard slant and turning it into a 25-yard gain. That would open up Stefanski's playbook and give us more room for the run game to thrive. And look, the AFC North is a war zone. The Ravens are flying high. The Steelers just brought in Justin Fields. And the Bengals? They've still got Burrow, slinging it. If we want to compete in 2025, our offense needs to level up. Mechie won't solve everything, but he could be a key piece in the puzzle. Let's talk quarterbacks real quick. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. Who's going to be under center? Can Mechie build chemistry with any of them? The fanbase is split. Some fans on X are hyped about Mechie, calling him the next Deebo. Others think it's just another one of Barry's experiments. I saw a post that said, if Mechie comes here without a legit QB, he'll be another wasted talent. And honestly, that's a fair take. One fan even said, Barry, stop bringing in second-tier receivers and get us a franchise QB. I get it. We're tired. We want results. But I do believe Barry's trying to build something sustainable. Some folks say we already have a Mechie type in Cedric Tillman. Maybe. But Mechie brings a different flavor. At the end of the day, we just want one thing: wins. After 3-14, patience is thin. The pressure is on Stefanski and Barry. So what do you think? Are you excited about the Mechie rumor? Or is this just more smoke and mirrors? And before I wrap, don't forget the Chris Olave rumors. That guy had 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons before concussion slowed him down. Mechie doesn't have that resume, but he also wouldn't cost as much. Stat-wise, Mechie averaged 10.4 yards per catch in 2024. Solid, but not elite. Judy hit 13.2. So let's be real, Mechie's not coming in as a WR1, but with the right scheme, he could be the perfect complementary piece. The AFC is loaded with explosive receivers: Jamar Chase, George Pickens, you name it. We need someone who can make an impact now. So, Dog Pound, what do you think? Is Mechie the spark we need to light up this offense? Or should we be setting our sights even higher? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's ride this wild Browns journey together. Until next time, let's go Browns.